students, in last lecture we have seen about the HIV virus, the structure of HIV virus and how this HIV virus is spreading infection from person to person, that is different modes of infection, that is through sexual contact from mother to fetus, through infected body parts or through unsterilized equipments. So now related to this AIDS disease, in the next lecture we have to study the next point, that is how this HIV infection takes place in our body, what is the mode of action of HIV. So this point is for NEET exam, it is not present in our this textbook, that is state textbook, but in NCERT this point is given, and therefore for NEET exam we have to study the mode of action of HIV, which is important for the NEET exam. So here how this HIV virus is getting incorporated in our body and how the infection is getting, that we have to see here. So here there is a time lag between the infection and appearance of AIDS symptoms. Means when the HIV particle is going introduced in our body, as well as it is not infecting and it is not showing the symptoms of AIDS. म्हणजेच काय, HIVचं इन्फेक्शन झालं की लगेच एड्स होतो असं नाही. देर इज अ टाइम लॅग बिटवीन इन्फेक्शन अँड सिम्पटम्स ऑफ एड्स. जे इन्फेक्शन झाल्यानंतर एड्स होण्यापर्यंतचा एक मध्ये कालावधी असतो, अँड दॅट पिरियड इज कॉल्ड एज अ टाइम लॅग, अँड दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज इन्क्युबेशन पिरियड. दिस इन्क्युबेशन पिरियड व्हॅरीज फ्रॉम फ्यू मंथ्स टू फ्यू इयर्स. काही महिन्यांपासून काही वर्षापर्यंतचा हा कालावधी आपल्याला बघायला मिळतो. दिस पिरियड इज कॉल्ड एज इन्क्युबेशन पिरियड और दिस पिरियड इज कॉल्ड एज अ लॅटेंट पिरियड, अँड इट इज अबाउट 5 to 10 years. Few months up to 5 to 10 years after the infection of HIV, the symptoms of AIDS can be shown from few months up to 5 to 10 years. So this is called as incubation period. Now after getting into the body, the virus enters into the macrophages. Means when HIV virus particles are getting introduced in our body, firstly they infect our macrophages. Macrophages means the type of WBC, a granulocyte of WBC that we have seen, monocytes and lymphocytes in circulation chapter. From that, these macrophages are going infected by these HIV particles, and in macrophages, these HIV particles which are having RNA genome, we have seen single stranded RNA is the genetic material present in the HIV virus. So here this single stranded RNA genome of the virus is transcripted to form viral DNA with the help of the enzyme reverse transcriptase. As we know, the structure of HIV particle, HIV is having 2 strands of single stranded RNA and 2 molecules of reverse transcriptase enzyme. So here after incorporating the HIV in our macrophages, here in macrophage the RNA genome of this HIV virus is transcripted with the help of enzyme reverse transcriptase, and that RNA genome is converted into DNA genome. So here RNA of HIV is converted into DNA of HIV particle with the help of enzyme reverse transcriptase, and then this DNA is incorporated into the host cell's DNA, and then it take the mastery of this DNA synthesizing machine of the host cell, and they are producing another viral particles of this HIV. So here this viral DNA is incorporated into the host cell's DNA and direct the infected cell to produce virus particles. When this DNA of the virus incorporated into our host cell's DNA, it is directing the human DNA to produce the virus DNA particles. म्हणजे काय होतं, ज्या वेळेला हा DNA आपल्या होस्ट सेलच्या DNA मध्ये इनकॉर्पोरेट केला जातो, त्यावेळेला तो स्वतः डायरेक्शन देतो काय आपल्या जिनोमला, की फक्त व्हायरसचे पार्टिकल्स तयार कर, दुसरं काहीही काम करायचं नाही. अँड देअरफॉर हिअर the macrophages continue to produce virus particles and act like a factory, and therefore the number of viral DNA particles are produced in macrophages, and the macrophage here it is called as a factory of viral DNA producing machine, and simultaneously HIV enters into the helper T lymphocytes and replicates and produces progeny viruses. Simultaneously, these viral DNA of these HIV particles are infecting our T lymphocytes, that is helper T lymphocytes, as we have seen in the immune system. So here in the T lymphocytes, they are getting replicated and they are producing again number of progeny viruses, and then these progeny viruses are repeatedly attacked on the T lymphocytes and decreases their number, and they are disturbing our immune system because T lymphocytes are responsible for our immunity. So here this mechanism we have to understand with the help of this diagrammatic representation. Here is the retrovirus, this is the RNA, this is the protein code, and when this viral DNA is infected our human cell, this is the human cell structure. In that, this is the nucleus, host cell nucleus, and in nucleus the human DNA is present. When this virus particle is infecting to the host cell, then only the genetic material along with the reverse transcriptase is incorporated into the host cell. So here outer protein coat and lipid coat is not entering into the human cell. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेला इन्फेक्शन होतं व्हायरसचं त्यावेळेला व्हायरसमध्ये असणारा जो जिनोम आहे किंवा जेनेटिक मटेरियल आहे जो सिंगल स्ट्रँडेड RNA प्रेझेंट असतो तोच फक्त आत येतो. वरचं प्रोटीन कोट आहे आणि लिपिड कोट आहे ते आतमध्ये येत नाही. अँड देन दिस व्हायरल DNA इज प्रोड्युस्ड बाय reverse transcriptase enzyme because when it is incorporated it is present in RNA form, single stranded RNA, but with the help of reverse transcriptase enzyme here this viral RNA is converted into viral DNA, and then this viral DNA is incorporated into host genome. हा host genome आहे याच्या DNA मध्ये हा viral DNA काय केला जातो इनकॉर्पोरेट केला जातो, and then new viral RNA are produced by the infected cell, and therefore again this DNA is directing our genome, our DNA to produce or to synthesize the number of viral particles, and therefore again there are number of HIV virus particles are produced in our body, and this process or this replication is taking place in the macrophage of our body, and therefore new viruses can infect other cells. So here one virus is infecting a single cell, that is macrophage, and there is production of number of viral particles, and again this cycle is repeated and this virus particle is again infecting other macrophages, and then these virus particles are again infecting our T lymphocytes, and when these T lymphocytes are getting to be infected by these virus particles, our immunity system becomes very weak. This is the main co-infection which is caused by this HIV particle. So I hope you understand this mechanism. Now when day after day these T lymphocytes are getting infected by this HIV particle, during this period what happens, you see the person suffer from bouts of fever and they are showing diarrhea and weight loss. In initial infection stage of this HIV infection, the person is showing simultaneously bouts of fever. Bouts of fever म्हणजे वारंवार ताप येणे. ताप कशामुळे येऊ शकतो? मलेरियल फीवर असू शकतो, टायफॉइड फीवर असू शकतो, फ्लूचा फीवर असू शकतो. त्यामुळे आपल्याला लवकर एड्सचं इन्फेक्शन किंवा HIVचं इन्फेक्शन झालेलं आहे हे समजू शकत नाही. सो in the early infective stage of this HIV infection, showing person that is bout of fever, sometimes the person may show diarrhea, that is dysentery, and weight loss. So these are initial stage of infection. Later on what happens, you see here, then the person starts suffering from infection of bacteria like mycobacterium and other viruses and fungi, and even the parasites called as a toxoplasma. Means later on when the immunity system is becoming very weak due to the T lymphocytic infection by this HIV particle, the person is showing different pathogenic infection of bacteria, of viruses or fungi. Out of that, one most infectious bacterium here, it it is known as mycobacterium infection can be taken place in these persons. And in case of parasite, we have to see here Toxoplasma is the parasite which is showing infection to such persons. So therefore, in latter stage of infection of this HIV particle, here the infection of mycobacterium and infection of parasite Toxoplasma can be seen in some patients, and day by day the patient becomes immunodeficient, and hence he or she is unable to protect himself or herself against the infection. Means when day by day this HIV infection is spreading inside our body, all the immunity system of that person is becoming very weak, and therefore he or she, that is infected person, is not able to fight against the pathogenic infections. Means they are showing immunodeficiency, and therefore major or maximum types of pathogens are attacking the body of those persons, and therefore this disease is called as a immunodeficient, because the immunity system is getting disturbed by this HIV infection. So this is most important factor of this HIV, that it infects our immunity system, and therefore our immunity system becomes immunodeficient, and therefore he or she is not able to fight against the infection. So this is the mode of action of this HIV. Now related to that, there is one question which is asked in 2014 and 2011. What is that question here? At which stage of HIV infection does one usually show symptoms of AIDS? Means at which stage the patients are showing symptoms of AIDS? That is the question. Now here are the four options. Within 15 days of sexual contact with an infected person, or when the infected retrovirus enters the host cells, or when HIV damage large number of helper T lymphocytes, or when the viral DNA is produced by the reverse transcriptase. So here four conditions are given, at which condition the symptoms of AIDS are to be seen. That is the question. So can you guess the answer? At what condition this HIV infection is shown, or the symptoms can be seen in the person's body? So here, as we just seen, the C option is the correct answer. When HIV damage large amount of helper T lymphocytes, because after infection to helper T lymphocytes, our immunity becoming weak, and then we have seen the symptoms of this AIDS, and therefore here C is the option. When HIV damages large number of helper T lymphocytes, then it shows symptoms of AIDS. So that is the answer of this question. Now the next point here we have to see symptoms of AIDS, means how to recognize that is the AIDS is occurring in some patient. What are the symptoms of AIDS? So here the four different stages of symptoms as we see here, because this HIV infection is not showing initially. The initial stage is called as the incubation period or the latent stage, where no symptoms are seen in some patient. So here this incubation of HIV virus is up to 10 years. Means when infection taking place in someone's body, it may not show any symptom up to 10 years. म्हणजेच काय की HIV पार्टिकल आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये आला की लगेच त्याचे सिम्पटम दिसणार नाहीत, कारण याचा इन्क्युबेशन पिरियड आहे तो काही महिन्यांपासून काही वर्षांपर्यंत आहे. त्यामुळे 10 वर्षापर्यंत सुद्धा तो HIV पार्टिकल आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये जसा आहे तसा राहू शकतो. सो देर इज नो एनी सिम्पटम अप टू 10 years also. So it is very difficult to diagnose the HIV infection. So here the virus causes damage to immune system of the person, and these they have classified into 4 categories. The symptoms of HIV are classified into 4 categories. The first is the initial infection with the virus, and there is formation of antibodies usually 2 to 8 weeks after initial infection. Means after infection of HIV in our body, first 2 to 8 weeks of the infection, some antibodies are produced by our body, and there is no any symptom. So here it is called as initial infection. Only formation of antibodies are taking place, but accordingly we can't recognize or diagnose the HIV infection. So this is the first symptom. Then second, asymptomatic carrier state. Asymptomatic means again the second stage is also not showing any symptom. म्हणजे ह्या स्टेजमध्ये सुद्धा कोणत्याही पद्धतीचा सिम्पटम आपल्याला तिथे दिसत नाही. In which no signs of disease are seen. Incubation period ranges from 6 months to 10 years. Here also no any symptom. This is incubation period, that is 6 months to 10 years. Now the third stage of symptom here, AIDS related complex. It is called as ARC. AIDS related complex means some symptoms can be observed at this stage. So here it shows clinical signs as recurrent fever for longer than 1 month, fatigue, unexplained diarrhea, night sweats, then shortness of breath and loss of more than 10% of the body weight. So these are the different conditions of the body are here showing different symptoms, and accordingly it shows AIDS related complex. Means after observing these symptoms we are not sure about the HIV infection, because these symptoms are related to another diseases also. So therefore here the first symptom is recurrent fever for longer than 1 month. म्हणजे एका महिन्यापेक्षा जास्त काळ त्या व्यक्तीला ताप येऊ शकतो. तो कशामुळे आलेला आहे हे आपण सांगू शकत नाही. नेक्स्ट हिअर फटीग, कंटाळ्यासारखं होतं. अनएक्सप्लेनेड डायोरिया, वारंवार डिसेंट्री किंवा डायोरिया त्या व्यक्तीच्या शरीरामध्ये आपल्याला बघायला मिळतो. नाईट स्वेट्स, रात्रीच्या वेळेला अंगामधून घाम येऊ शकतो. त्याच्यानंतर शॉर्टनेस ऑफ ब्रेथ, if the respiratory system is going infected, then shortness of breath is taking place, म्हणजेच श्वास घ्यायला त्रास होऊ शकतो. and then loss of more than 10% body weight, means body weight is goes down up to 10%. So these are the different symptoms related to AIDS, and it is observing in the third developmental stage of this HIV. And here the fourth, it is most important symptom, that is AIDS. That is called as AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So here AIDS is the end stage of HIV infection. Means when the HIV infection is gone, is went to at this stage, that is AIDS stage, there is no any cure or there is no any treatment to cure the disease. So here advanced HIV infection is also called as advanced HIV infection, which is showing CD4 T cell count below 200 cells per mm cubic. Means in our body there is a T lymphocyte group, and that is having CD4 T cell count, that is called as CD4 T cell count. CD4 means cluster differentiation 4. It is a special type of glycoprotein which is present on the surface of some immune cells, just like T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes are immune cells which are responsible for our immunity, and other are also there are some immunity cells, just we have studied in the last few lectures. So all these immune cells are having special type of glycoproteins on the surface of their cells, and that is called as a CD4, cluster differentiation 4. Means this glycoprotein is responsible for the differentiation of T lymphocytes. As we have seen, there are 4 types of T lymphocytes, means helper T cells, suppressor T cells, killer T cells and memory T cells. So this cluster differentiation 4 is responsible for differentiation of T lymphocytes in these 4 types of cells, and this cell count is decreased below 200 cells per cubic mm. So normal range is about 400 to 1200. But here when HIV infection takes place, this range is going on decreasing and it is below 200, and therefore it is known as acute AIDS infection. Very high AIDS infection is taking place. So this is the end stage of disease, showing irreversible breakdown of the immune defense. It is the last stage where all the immune system of our body, all the defense mechanism of our body is getting disturbed and it is irreversibly changed. There is no any reversible change, and therefore it is called as irreversible breakdown. Our immunity system totally break down at this stage. So there are variety of symptoms like weight loss, infections like tuberculosis, pneumonia, skin cancer, sometimes central nervous system getting infected by papaviruses, mycobacteria, etc. And ultimately the patient die in few months. Means in this last stage, different pathogens or different bacteria or different viruses are going to be infected in that person's body, and they are showing some symptoms like weight loss, or they are showing infection of tuberculosis, pneumonia or skin cancer, or some viruses or bacteria like papaviruses and mycobacteria, they are infecting our central nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord, and ultimately the patient may die in few months in this last stage. So these are the 4 different symptoms. We have to see here some points related to the CD4 count. CD4 means cluster of differentiation 4. It is a glycoprotein found on the surface of immune cells. Which are the immune cells present in our body? Helper T cells, monocytes, macrophages and dendritic cells. So all these cells are responsible for developing immunity on our body, and all these cells are having some special glycoprotein which is known as CD4, and the CD4 count, normal CD4 count is about 460 to 1600 cells per cubic mm. नॉर्मल जो रेंज आहे तो एवढा दिसतो बघा आपल्याला 450 ते 1600. बट व्हेन HIV इन्फेक्शन टेक्स प्लेस, दिस CD4 काउंट गोज ऑन डिक्रीजिंग अँड इट रिमेन्स अबाउट 200. किती कमी झालेला दिसतो बघा. अँड ड्यू टू दिस डिक्रीज इन CD4 सेल काउंट, द इम्युनिटी सेल्स which are present are going to be disturbed, and therefore our immunity system is getting collapse, and due to collapse of this immunity system, different pathogens are attacking our body, and therefore different symptoms are shown by that patient's body, and therefore this disease is called as acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This disease is called as a syndrome because variety of symptoms are caused by variety of pathogens due to inability of our immune system to fight against this HIV infection. Okay, so this is the mode of action. Now how to diagnose the HIV infection or how to diagnose the AIDS. So here the diagnosis becomes difficult due to non-specific symptom of the other disease present in a patient. As we have seen, there is bacterial infection, there is fungal infection, there is viral infection due to this HIV infection. So there is difficulty to diagnose this disease. But some tests are developed here. So for diagnosis, 2 blood tests are used. First is the ELISA test. ELISA means enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. This is the first test to be done to diagnose the HIV infection, and second test is the Western blot test. Out of these 2, first test is done, ELISA test, and when it is positive, then for confirmation of this HIV infection, the second test, that is Western blot test, is to be done. So here Western blot test is employed for the confirmation of the ELISA positive cases. If the ELISA test is becoming positive, then Western blot is to be done. If ELISA test is negative, then Western blot test is not used. So here we have to remember these 2 tests are related to the HIV infection or the AIDS disease. ELISA test and here Western blot test. So here this test, it is highly specific test, and it is based on the detecting specific antibody to viral core protein and enveloping glycoprotein. As we know, the HIV virus is having protein coat. There are 2 protein coats, outer and inner, and around that protein coat a lipid membrane is there, and on lipid membrane special glycoproteins are there. And here in this test we have to detect specific antibodies which are infecting against these viral proteins and these glycoproteins. So this test is related to the antibodies which are produced in our body to fight against the viral proteins and viral glycoproteins. So this is the principle used in this ELISA test and the Western blot test. So this is the diagnosis test which is made for the HIV. Now related to that, there is one question asked in 2011. A certain patient is suspected to be suffering from acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Which diagnostic technique will you recommend for its detection? जे एका पेशंटमध्ये आपल्याला असे सिम्पटम दिसलेले आहेत तर कोणती टेस्ट रिकमेंड कराल असा प्रश्न विचारलेला आहे. सो हिअर MRI, अल्ट्रासाउंड, विडॉल अँड एलिसा. सो ॲज यू नो AIDS is diagnosed with the help of ELISA test. So here the answer is the D option, ELISA test. That is correct answer. Now the next here again question, which one of the following statement is correct with respect to AIDS? कोणतं करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट आहे ते ओळखायचं आहे. द HIV can be transmitted through eating food together with an infected person, or drug addicts are least susceptible to HIV infection, or AIDS patients are fully cured 100% with proper care and nutrition. And the last here, the positive HIV retrovirus enters helper T lymphocytes, thus reducing their numbers. Out of these 4 statements, which is the correct statement? You have to identify here. First, it is transmitted through eating food together म्हणलेलं आहे, त्यामुळे हे उत्तर येणार नाही. Here drug addicts are least susceptible, जे ड्रग ॲडिक्ट करतात त्यांच्यामध्ये एड्स होण्याची शक्यता कमी असते असं म्हणलेलं आहे. चुकीचं आहे, त्यामुळे हे सुद्धा चुकीचं उत्तर आहे. देन एड्स पेशंट्स आर फुल्ली क्युअर्ड 100% म्हणलेलं आहे. एड्स पेशंट हे फुल्ली क्युअर 100% होत नाहीत, अगदी कमी प्रमाणामध्ये फुल्ली क्युअर होऊ शकतात, त्यामुळे हे चुकीचं आहे. त्यामुळे लास्ट ऑप्शन इज द करेक्ट आन्सर. द पॉझिटिव्ह HIV retrovirus enters the T lymphocytes and they are reducing their numbers. So here this is the 4th option, the correct statement regarding the AIDS that we have just seen. Now treatment. After diagnosis, if suppose you have diagnosed in some patients that is AIDS, now how to treat the AIDS? What is the different treatment techniques are used to cure or to prevent the AIDS? So here first of all, AIDS is incurable disease. So you have to remember that AIDS have no any cure. So we have to minimize the rate of infection here. So no vaccine is made available against HIV virus. This is another point. There is no any vaccine against HIV virus. So some antiviral drugs are used to prolong and improve the patient's life. So by using some antiviral drugs, we have to improve and to elong the patient's life. म्हणजे आपण त्याचं आयुष्य थोडं वाढवू शकतो, चांगल्या पद्धतीने त्याचं आयुष्य बनवू शकतो. So here a combination of antiretroviral therapy ART, which suppresses the replication of HIV virus in the body. So this is the ART techniques, means antiretroviral techniques, which are used to suppress the replication of HIV infection. And there are combination of several antiretroviral drugs which are called as highly active antiretroviral therapy. Highly active antiretroviral therapy HAART, which is effective in reducing the number of HIV particles in the bloodstream. So by using number of antiretroviral drugs, we have to reduce the number of HIV particles and we have to enhance the life of patient. So these are the different treatments which are used against the AIDS. Now how to prevent the AIDS? Because prevention is better than cure. As you know, झाल्यानंतर उपचार करण्यापेक्षा होऊ नये म्हणून काय काळजी घ्यायची हे सगळ्यात जास्त महत्त्वाचं आहे. सो हिअर द डिफरंट प्रिव्हेंटिव्ह मेजर्स आर देअर अगेन्स्ट द HIV इन्फेक्शन. फर्स्ट, अवॉइड सेक्शुअल कॉन्टॅक्ट विथ मल्टिपल पार्टनर्स अँड होमोसेक्शुअल्स. मीन्स टू अवॉइड हिअर द मल्टिपल partner sexual contact or homosexual contact is to be avoided to prevent this HIV infection. Use of condom during sexual contact, this is the most important way to prevent this HIV infection. condom चा वापर केला पाहिजे. Do not share razors, toothbrushes, syringes and needles with an infected person. जे जर infected person असेल तर त्याचं रेझर, टूथब्रश किंवा कुठली एखादी निडल असेल, कुठलं एखादं इन्स्ट्रुमेंट असेल त्याचा वापर आपण करायचा नाही, तर आपण त्याला प्रिव्हेंट करू शकतो. देन डिस्पोजेबल निडल्स अँड सिरिंजेस आर टू बी यूज्ड अँड डिस्पोज्ड ऑफ प्रॉपरली अँड इमिजिएटली. मीन्स तुम्हाला माहीत असेल की पूर्वीच्या काळी दवाखान्यामध्ये इंजेक्शन घ्यायला केलं की उकळलेल्या पाण्यामधलं इंजेक्शन काढून आपल्याला टोचायला वापरत होते. पण आत्ताच्या काळामध्ये बघितलं की यूज अँड थ्रो डिस्पोजेबल सिरिंजेस आणि निडल्सचा वापर केला जातो. हे कशासाठी आलेलं आहे? टू अवॉइड दी HIV इन्फेक्शन. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो यूज्ड. देन डोनर्स ब्लड शुड बी स्क्रीन्ड फॉर HIV इन्फेक्शन. इफ द ब्लड इज डोनेटेड फ्रॉम वन पर्सन टू अदर पर्सन, that blood is to be tested, that is to be screened, either it is HIV positive or HIV negative, and then after we have to use the blood transfusion. Then people, particularly those are at high risk condition, that should be properly educated about HIV transmission. म्हणजे जे प्रौढ वयामध्ये आलेले आहेत, प्युबर्टी एजमध्ये आहेत, ज्यांच्यामध्ये हाय रिस्क आपल्याला बघायला मिळते, अशा वयामधल्या मुलांना किंवा माणसांना आपल्याला काय केलं पाहिजे, त्याचं एज्युकेशन दिलं पाहिजे. हाऊ दिस HIV इज ट्रान्समिटेड अँड फ्रॉम एज्युकेशन वी हॅव टू प्रिव्हेंट द स्प्रेड ऑफ HIV इन्फेक्शन. सो दिस इज द कंट्रोल मेजर्स. अँड अगेन वी हॅव टू हिअर HIV पॉझिटिव्ह वुमन शुड नॉट बी अलाउड टू कन्सीव अ चाइल्ड. जे एखादी फिमेल आहे ती जर HIV पॉझिटिव्ह असेल तर तिनं मूल जन्माला घालायचं नाही. Because from mother fetus is also getting HIV infection. So here women which are HIV positive are not permitted to conceive a baby. जे त्यांना परमिशन नाही दिली पाहिजे मूल जन्माला घालण्याची. हे एक आपण प्रिव्हेंशन करू शकतो. The person with AIDS and HIV positive should not donate blood or any other organs while organ transplantation. म्हणजे ऑर्गन ट्रान्सप्लांटेशनच्या वेळेला जे HIV पॉझिटिव्ह आहेत किंवा जे इन्फेक्टेड आहे त्यांचं आपण ब्लड किंवा ऑर्गन डोनेट करायला वापरायचं नाही. देन यूज ऑफ मास मीडिया टू एज्युकेट द पीपल अबाउट द इफेक्ट्स ऑफ एड्स. अँड मास मीडिया कम्युनिकेशनचा वापर करून जनजागृती करणे. त्यासाठी एड्स जनजागृती 1 डिसेंबरला तो आपण एड्स दिवस म्हणून साजरा करतो, की जेणेकरून सगळ्या लोकांच्यामध्ये ह्याची माहिती पसरली पाहिजे की कशामुळे होतो आणि कशामुळे होत नाही, काय काळजी घेतली पाहिजे. हे सगळं आपण मास मीडिया कम्युनिकेशनचा वापर करून लोकांपर्यंत माहिती जर पोहोचवली तर आपण एड्सचं काय करू शकतो, प्रिव्हेंशन करू शकतो. सो हिअर दीज आर डिफरंट वेज. फॉर नीट वी हॅव टू सी सम पॉईंट्स हिअर. द नॅशनल एड्स कंट्रोल ऑर्गनायझेशन दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज अ NACO, नॅशनल एड्स कंट्रोल ऑर्गनायझेशन, राष्ट्रीय स्तरावरती एक कमिटी स्थापन केलेली आहे. अँड अदर्स आर non-governmental organization, NGOs and other educating people about the AIDS. So different NGOs and NACO are the giving information to the people about the AIDS, and they are educating the people related to the AIDS information. World Health Organization, WHO, that is a committee organization, has started a number of programs to prevent spreading of HIV infection, making blood safe from HIV and use of disposable syringes and needles. So World Health Organization is also conducting different programs in schools, in colleges, in cities, in villages to giving the information about this HIV infection and AIDS to reduce this infection. So these are the different methods to prevent the HIV infection. Now here the last question from this point: which of the following is a pair of viral diseases? So here ringworm AIDS, common cold AIDS, dysentery common cold, and typhoid tuberculosis. The 4 pairs are given. Out of that we have to identify the diseases which are caused by virus. So can you guess the answer here? So in first you have to see AIDS is viral disease, but ringworm is fungal disease. So this is incorrect. Common cold, it is caused by coronavirus or rhinovirus, and AIDS HIV virus. So these are viral diseases. Here dysentery and common cold. Common cold is viral disease, but dysentery is protozoan disease. It is caused by Entamoeba histolytica. So this is not viral disease. This is only viral disease. And from typhoid and tuberculosis, both are caused by bacterial pathogens. So the option here is the D option, that is common cold and AIDS. These are the pair of viral diseases. So in today's lecture we have completed all the diseases which are present in this topic. This is the last disease, AIDS. In the next point we have to study about the adolescents and their side effects. Till then, thank you. Take care.